You fucking ruined it, Dave.
Silence.
No.
Oh no. Welcome to Struggle City.
See, I tried to do that last time and Dave didn't like it.
Yeah, but I did it better.
It's not true.
Yeah, it
I'm
is.
so close to tears.
Prove me wrong.
You're both kind of garbage. So there.
Well,
Whatever.
remember what we're gonna do for the one thing, and where's the garbage fire? Oh, the rap.
Oh,
And it was like, it's just a garbage fire.
Let's move on immediately.
Hey, everyone, welcome to Struggle City.
We're struggling, as
Yeah.
always. It's Dave, Case, and Missy.
And Dave.
Yeah. So,
Casey, this is your first.
yeah, Casey,
year.
this is all you.
all right.
Why don't you introduce the topic?
Hang on. There's a bit of backstory.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
So, when I went to Bucks, I took a course in human sexuality.
Fun.
Part of it was we had to do a research paper
Okay.
on any topic that we covered in the class.
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck is calling me?
I'll
I don't know
answer.
that number. You don't dare answer it.
Crank calls
No,
on
the
Struggle
last
City
time
Podcast.
you answered one of my calls, you did it in some racist Chinese Qingdong
Did I
voice.
really?
No.
I don't even remember that.
No. Anyway.
Okay.
Did a research paper. I did one on fetishes.
Okay.
So I kind of scoured the internet and just found that my eyes were fucking opened for one.
Yeah.
Which is a fetish itself.
I'm sure anything is at this point.
Yeah. So it became like a habit of mine to just kind of keep my eyes out for new ones.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I'm fascinated at how people's minds develop and how their tastes develop.
Yeah, because it's totally involuntary.
Yeah.
Yes.
This one I don't know about.
Oh boy.
So, hang on. I'm doing this. I need to drink for this because this is awful.
He's building this up so much, and I feel like I already know what
I want
it
to
is.
drink too.
Oh my god.
So the newest one I found, probably where I found it probably wasn't the best place to find it. It was either, I think it was it wasn't Reddit. It was Reddit or 4chan. I don't remember which one.
4chan's worse. Reddit's not as great.
Yeah, either one's still pretty bad.
Yeah,
Sure.
you're digging at the bottom. You're like on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the new one I found was Anne Frank.
What? All right. Hold. What?
God.
Anne fucking Frank.
Huh?
The idea of being with her, or
Yes. The idea of I didn't type too much into it because I didn't want that in my fucking browser.
That's
And just
interesting.
it just started to really get under my skin when it started to delve into pictures of Anne Frank.
Dude, no.
What?
And then it gets worse. And then it turns into cartoon porn of Hitler fucking Anne Frank.
Are you
And I'm like,
kidding
I can't
me?
do this.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that one. I think I'm pretty well rounded in that world.
I wanted to kind of do deep dive into it because I just wanted to know why. But I couldn't just because.
Is it the idea of maybe saving her from? No. Okay.
No, that's not the vibe I was getting from this shit.
Is that really a fetish though, and not just a kink?
Are they not one and the same?
They're a little bit different. I used to know what it was, and I don't now. But with kinks, it's just something that you're into, you're really into, and whereas a fetish, you can't get off without it.
So it's just the same coin, just different sides.
Yeah, but a fetish is stronger.
I don't know where this one falls under, but I don't know.
That's interesting.
It made me uncomfortable enough to not want to pursue further information.
You know what though? I'm not.
Because like I said, it went between from one to the other, actual photos of Anne Frank, the one on the cover of her fucking book,
Mm-hmm.
to people drew art of it, and it's always Hitler. It is always Hitler fucking her.
Okay, I don't like that, especially because she was 14 or so?
Yeah.
And Hitler was the devil in the flesh. So I'm not into it at all.
Yeah, this is why I wanted to record a live reaction, Dave.
I was expecting worse.
It's pretty bad.
I was expecting
It's
worse.
pretty bad. It's basically pedophilia.
Yeah, But there's ways
and
around
Nazis.
pedophilia.
Nazis and pedophilia.
What?
Yeah.
I don't.
What? What?
There's ways around pedophilia.
There are.
Not really.
No, okay.
Okay,
so...
you know what? Don't explain yourself.
No, let me explain, because now I sound like a freak. So, I know you've heard of them, but have you heard of, like, the ABDL community and the DDLG community?
You're just throwing letters at me.
I am.
It's not like NAMBLA.
I'm also throwing... How about the ABC community? Or the DFG community? Or the element...
They stand for something.
It stands for the alphabet.
Oh my god. Okay, well, there are communities that focus on, like, age play.
Right.
Yes.
As opposed to NAMBLA, who are trying to make... NAMBLA is the North American Man Boy Love Association.
Mm-hmm. They made fun of it in South Park.
Yeah, so they're, like, actively trying to, like, legalize fucking little boys because the Romans and the Greeks did it. And again, like, I think that's, like, another power trip Nazi thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right, see, now that is not okay. That's pedophilia.
Yeah.
Age play is not pedophilia.
Right.
So that's what I mean by saying, like, you can get around it. You can also get around bestiality, and you can get around necrophilia.
I don't know if using the phrase
Yeah,
get around is a
Yeah.
good way of putting
That's
it.
it.
It's like, you just have them sign a consent
waiver.
form, and then it's okay. It's fine now.
Well, no, there's ways.
Going back to South Park, it's like when PC Principal came on. do I have permission to crush that puss?
Oh my god. Well, you
sound
know
right
what
here.
I mean. You know what I mean.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah. So,
But
even
no-
not get around's the right phrase.
Right, but like no, what
Sure.
I saw was very much teen Anne Frank.
Yeah,
Like-
it's kind of disturbing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know how to respond to that.
I
You-
saw it. And I
I-
don't know how to respond to it.
First off, I'm apologizing on behalf of the entire internet. I can't speak for everyone or at all,
It's
but holy fucking shit.
But honestly, I think it's like the worst thing I found.
I didn't even see it, and you broke my brain. It hurts right.
Like,
I started
wish-
crying.
I wish I had to do a paper about it. Because I would have loved to have brought this up in a class setting.
I can think of a few tears you would have just broken.
Okay, but how do you know that this is, like, really a thing and not just, like, some big joke?
There was threads dedicated to it.
Okay.
And like people asking for specific like commissions of images.
It just makes me sad. Like, I really don't like kink shaming at all, but, like, this just
I'm going to
makes
shame
me
this.
sad.
I'm 100%
Oh
shaming
yeah,
this.
yeah. You should be ashamed.
I'm 110% shaming this. Not only are you fucking little kids, but you're Nazis.
Hey,
Not
if-
just Nazis, like Hitler.
if
Like,
any
we're
of
saying
the
that, yeah.
Yeah.
any of the 40 of you out there that do this, like, just stop listening. We don't want your
Yeah.
service.
I
Go
would
away.
want to talk to somebody who's into that, though, and try to, like,
Right,
dig
like
deeper.
I want to understand.
Yeah.
You want to psychoanalyze.
I want to pick up, I want to cut open their head and look at their brain. But no. Like
Yeah, that's
But yeah.
kind of,
that's
Oh,
been
weird.
like eating at my head for the last couple weeks.
Whatever happened to, like, the quote normal type of fetishes that, like, you'd hear about all the
The
time?
internet changed that.
Big time.
The internet changed that because I think for that
Mm-hmm.
people would just say they had like the normal quote unquote fetishes
Right.
to cover up the fact that they had very unnormal
Mm-hmm.
ones.
I wonder, sometimes I think about, like, people with certain fetishes, like, how that fetish, like, started and, like, made it into
You're right,
a
Dave.
community.
I'm still a little broken.
Like, there had to have been one person who came out and said, I like this. And everybody was like, oh my god, you like that? And then more people would come out and say it, you know?
I think it just started with people doing stuff.
Yeah.
Just trying it, just experimenting with it.
Yeah.
And then it became more and more, air quote, normalized.
And then once the internet hit, anonymity was basically guaranteed. That was it.
Yeah.
Everything was out and on the table.
I guess you can compare it to, like, a dam, where everything was kind of backed up.
Yeah.
And then sticks started falling out one by one, and then the
whole
internet
thing.
happened, and then it's just a gush of water flying out.
Yeah.
And it's just the fucking flood from Genesis. It's just the flood.
There's so many fetishes out there. It's so interesting to me. I really wish I had
It's
gone
fascinating.
into
That's
this.
why I kept up with
Yeah.
with learning about them.
Yeah, it's fun to learn about because it's like you literally can't control what you're into at all.
But it's not only that. It's just like for example, one of the ones I did write about were amputees, like amputee fetishists. Mm-hmm. There's a whole exactly nubbies, nuggets. Like I was telling Dom.
It's like the third time I've done this today.
Yeah. Nugget porn, like I was telling Dom. But there's within the amputee community, there's like specifications. There's
really,
what is the term? Oh my god, abbreviations, letters
acronyms.
for acronyms specifically for like what kind of amputee. Like if you like just being cut off if you like cutting off at the wrist, elbow, that sort of thing.
That's so interesting.
And it's all like the body divided into quadrants.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, like
wow.
From a technical standpoint, some of these are really interesting.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of thought and structuring.
Yeah, like the whole like subcategories in it. I love that because like there's so many different subcategories, and it's like, oh well, which does where do you fall?
What box do I check?
Right.
Yeah,
it's so cool. I fucking love this
Poor
idea.
Vanilla Dave.
What? I wasn't paying attention. I was just thinking about how little I can contribute to this conversation because I've never done any deep diving on this stuff.
Oh. Well,
I'm relatively innocent.
Yeah, no.
Do you have a fetish?
No.
Okay, so I'm obviously not going to
Dave
say.
Vanilla.
Okay, that's okay. You can be vanilla.
Okay.
Vanilla's still a good flavor, man. Just pour some chocolate syrup on there. I really don't like the flavor of vanilla, but that's totally different. So I won't.
What about French vanilla?
No, that's even worse.
French vanilla's really good.
That's where it's at.
Yeah.
You got a good French vanilla,
Like,
some
I'll
good
stick my
vanilla
dick in some
bean
French
seeds in
vanilla
there.
ice cream.
No. But I won't get into specifics, obviously. But both Casey and I have like a fetish.
Yeah.
So.
Dave's has multiple assholes.
Right, and the imaginary assholes of the air. So
All
Casey
four.
and I have like done research on this and tried to psychoanalyze ourselves and each other, and it's just it's kind of like a black hole that you just fall into, and it's so interesting, and it's so funny how people are so ashamed of their own fetish.
Oh yeah, I'm insanely ashamed of mine.
I'm working on mine. I'm not as much as I used to be, which is like so fucking enlightening.
That's good.
Yeah. I feel like the shame comes from the psychoanalyst part, where you know where it comes from and you understand it, so you feel shameful.
My shame comes from an entire relationship where I was shamed for it.
Which is bullshit. Like, that just sucks.
5 years of it.
That's not cool at all. Because then, of course, you don't want to be intimate with that person.
Yeah.
Like, I was scared to death of telling Joe. I thought legitimately he was going to break up with me. And thank God he didn't. But because I've been, like, going to therapy and, like, talking to my therapist specifically about this, because it's, like, just upsetting. Like, when you're just so ashamed all the time.
Yeah.
I just get used to
it. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's...
the shame, it's fine.
Well, shame is good. It is good. I
it's
remember...
also a good movie.
It's a movie?
Yeah.
Shameless is also a good TV show.
Yeah.
It's okay. It was fine for like the first few seasons, and then it got repetitive.
So about Shame.
But yeah, Shame. Shame, great movie. It's got Michael Fassbender, and he is a sex addict.
Oh, fun.
Who is, constantly cruising for the next hookup, and his estranged sister gets involved in the picture, and then things kind of go downhill. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
Really good movie. But the way it opens up is him on a subway, trying to, is making eye contact with a woman, and they seem to be hitting it off, and then he just gets very predatory and starts like kind of fumbling her out of the subway, and
it's a little scary.
fun.
it's a great, it's a fucked up movie.
It's like How To Taken.
Yeah. Yeah. If you get a chance, I recommend it.
Well, okay, so going off of that idea,
Predators.
Well, yeah, like, have you heard of rape play before?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So when I first found that, I thought that was like so odd.
It was a gimmick in another movie I saw. Choke.
What are the names of these movies you watched? Shame, Choke, okay.
Tiptoe.
And then its sequel, Tip-Twos.
Tip-Twos.
Yeah, and the midgets.
It's funny.
Small people.
Anyway. But yeah, so when I first found that, it was really
remake
interesting.
Tip-Toads.
Oh, God.
Where Gary Oldman plays a frog.
He plays a frog.
Oh, Lord.
In the role of a lifetime.
Oh my god. You broke Casey.
I'm picturing Gary Oldman as a frog, but then I'm like, he already did play a giant toad because he played Winston Churchill.
Oh,
Well,
good
yeah.
lord.
A tomato frog.
You good?
No. I was going to be thinking about Gary Oldman. Gary Toadman. All day.
Gary Old Toad.
Fudge.
Oh man.
Alright.
Yeah.
Alright, back on topic.
We'll
Yeah.
leave the toads behind.
I wonder if that's a fetish.
Absolutely.
Somewhere.
Oh,
yeah.
it's gotta be.
Yeah.
Did you never see the video of the chimpanzee fucking the frog? It's
I
absolutely
feel like
fetish.
you've shown me
Probably.
it before, yeah.
I think it was like a French zoo. Oh, you've never even
It's a
heard of
French
it?
zoo.
Well, no, it was either French or Hawaiian because there's like a weird accent in the background. Because there's somebody filming it and everybody's reacting to it. A frog gets into a chimpanzee enclosure. The chimp finds it. And he's like, he doesn't know what to do with it. So he's just like playing around with it and then he's like flapping the mouth open. And then he just keeps flapping the mouth open and then he looks at his dick.
That poor frog.
And then, the frog becomes a fleshlight.
That poor frog.
What?
Yeah.
That's...
Okay.
really-
It sounds very French to me.
And chimpanzees are just a few DNA degrees away from being human, so it says
I'm
a
sure
lot.
people have
Oh,
done.
I love the frog.
I think the frog actually died.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Well,
Probably broke him.
I think
Literally broke him. Like
Emotionally, mentally, and physically.
the chimp killed it.
So, okay.
Anyway,
It's they did.
So you've seen Two Girls, One Cup.
unfortunately.
Okay, yeah, me too. Have you?
Nope.
Don't
How
ever
about
watch it.
cake farts?
No. No.
Have you?
I just love that you just started listening off these other weird videos.
Oh, fuck, were you the one who showed me the octopus?
Yes.
Oh, I saw that.
So there's cake farts. There's the octopus one. Another one I was shown, like the popular one for high school, because it was like a .org, so you could just play it on. You could like
Oh, God.
force all the computers to have it.
Ugh.
Was Lemon Barty?
Okay.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's just all old people fucking.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever.
And then there's Glass in the Ass, which again I think the guy died from it.
What?
Yeah.
I think
I've heard about
a
that,
guy
too.
took a mason jar and shoved it up his pooper, but it shattered,
Oh.
so it's just blood. So it's just like that scene from It.
Oh,
Or
God.
if you've seen the animated version, animated like short on YouTube, like my anus is
Yeah.
bleeding.
Yeah,
Oh
Yeah,
my
it's kinda
God.
like that.
Why not just get a glass dildo
there's
then?
Mr. Hand. Well, I don't know. He wanted the whiff. I don't know. He just didn't realize that.
Shit, man.
Anuses are stronger than they appear.
Then there's Mr. Hands, which I told you about that conversation, right? So do you know Mr. Hands?
No.
Mr. Hands is a guy being filmed having sex with a horse,
Oh,
but
yeah.
the horse is
Yeah.
fucking him, and he dies as a result.
Is this legit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I went to Seattle, I met a girl who was from the town
Oh.
that it was filmed in. And she's kind of describing it without saying like the name of it. And drunk me, like this is outstanding because this is hilarious to me. It's like, oh, Mr. Hands.
Yeah.
I just kind of scream Mr. Hands on the sidewalk. And she goes, "No, shut up."
Oh, God.
What's the other one? Shake That Bear.
I love
I
the
haven't-
titles.
I really haven't seen...
Like, this isn't fetish. This is just like weird internet sex stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I figured, but
so
I haven't seen
Shake
it.
That Bear is a guy and a girl are out hunting.
Okay.
She shoots a bear out of a tree,
Oh, dear Lord.
and then they bang on the bear. And all
Bears
the
are soft, but like...
all the while he's screaming, "Shake that bear!"
Good Lord.
What?
This definitely makes me feel better about, like, what I'm into.
The internet. I told you, the
Good
internet
God.
opened up avenues
Yes, it
of
did.
weirdness.
Yeah.
Don't cut that, Dave.
No, I'm not. I'm wiggling.
Wiggling and jiggling, moving the bear.
This is
shaking
making
the
my
bear.
head hurt.
It's fun, though, isn't it? It's so interesting to learn
And you're
what people want to be
It's so much
I don't even know
information.
if like cake farts was like a kink thing. I think it just cake farts is just like somebody's in a model home.
Uh-huh.
Somebody in that group was a real estate agent. And like, oh, we need a place to shoot this thing. Hey, I've got an open house. Let's do it there.
Sure.
Because the countertops look new. They just like bake a cake, like a Betty Crocker out of the box thing.
Okay.
And this girl just comes in bare ass and just farts on it.
What a waste of a cake.
And this is like a 20-minute video, and her ass is just like erupting onto this cake.
You know what? I knew a guy once, and that was his fetish. Not the cake part, but just smelling girls' farts.
I've heard of that, yeah.
Yeah. I was, at the time, very freaked out because I didn't understand.
Yeah, smell plays a thing.
Yeah. It was interesting. He literally asked me, he was like, will you do this? And I was planning on, like, breaking up with him. Not because of that, but just, like, in general.
Yeah, sure.
Right. Wait, what?
Just timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just coincidence.
But then later on, like, years down the road, he messaged me and he's like, hey, do you know any girls with really bad smelling farts? And I was like, no, I can't say I do. I'm sorry. And then we just never talked again.
What a text.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
I mean,
that could be literally any girl just
in
based
general.
on her diet.
Right.
Yeah.
Doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Good for him, though.
He's living his best life, man.
Sure.
He reached out.
It's a
He was
stinky
like,
life, but he's living it.
Yo, do you know anybody who farts really bad? Like,
It's almost a shame Craigslist went away, because that's another thing that just really helped proliferate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like cannibalism.
Hey.
I mean,
Don't shame.
Vor's a thing, too.
Yeah, Vor's a thing.
That scares me. Just because I don't think I could ever actually participate in that type of play.
But there's really nothing to...
Just that idea, though, of, like, literally being prey. I don't think I could do it.
Oh.
I don't think I could do that part.
It's funny because a lot of it is female based. Like a lot of it, from what I've seen, it's guys wanting to be eaten.
Well, I think that makes sense when it comes to, like, looking at traditional dominant and subs.
Yeah.
Because normally the males are the dominants.
Right. But, like, most of what I've seen on the internet, it's guys being eaten.
I've never actually watched that.
I've just seen, like, artwork.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Actually, this is really, really fucked up. So.
More fucked up than Anne Frank?
No. Not more fucked up than Anne Frank.
We set that bar high.
Yes, you did. And I will applaud you for that. Absolutely.
I'm gonna do some verbal editing. I might move that to the middle. Somehow.
But that was the whole idea of, like...
I know.
Okay. You
We'll
edit however you like, Dave.
We'll see.
So... I was doing some research. Because I really... Like, I was kind of in the same mindset where I was like, what is the most fucked up thing I can find in this type of realm? So I was on Reddit. Because I figured that's...
Yeah, Reddit's a good place.
Yeah, like, I didn't want to go to, like, a porn site or anything, so I went to Reddit.
Because, you know what? Because that was, like, the first place I tried, like, Pornhub, that type of thing, but surprisingly, a lot of that's pretty vanilla.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, if it doesn't, like, have a checkbox, it's not going to be there.
Right.
And Pornhub's pretty good at curating their crap.
Yeah, they're pretty professional over there. No, they are.
They really are.
Like, their moderators and their overseers are really professional and on top of shit.
Which I respect a lot.
It's a business.
It is.
They run a business.
It's better than YouTube.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I went on Reddit, and there are a couple of, like, these audio people that I listen to that is not, like, porn-based.
Oh,
which,
like,
ASMR?
Yes, but it's not ASMR, because I fucking hate ASMR. It's, like, it's better than that.
Elitist.
Oh, alright.
Okay, anyway. So I was kind of, like, looking for, like, an audio-based thing, and I found, I won't say, like, the name of it or anything, but I found this one where, like, literally it's just a massive amount of gaslighting and, like, psycho type of play, I guess. And, the whole thing is, like, this guy saying, like, you know, you're not good enough for me and I have to make you good enough for me. And that includes him cutting her or him, but I think it's more towards women, like cutting with razor blades and knives and then fucking them. And the way that he...
Fucking the person or the wounds?
No, the person.
Okay.
The person. But the way that he was saying it was that, like, after he did all of the cuts and everything, which were a lot, and he does this weird, like, kind of, like, giggle with it, which just adds to that psycho factor, which is so interesting. And he's like, okay, like, now we're gonna have sex. And I guess the way that he had it in his head was that she was gonna say no. And then he was like, are you fucking kidding me? After everything that I just did for you to make you better and to, like, help you bleed out all of the bad things. Yeah! I was like, dude,
That's
oh
intense.
my god. And then the way...
Some David Lynch shit.
Yeah, man, it was really fucking intense.
Right.
And I was like, this is pretty fucked up. But, like, it was so interesting. And then, you know, he ends up, like, having sex with her. And the noises he makes... Jesus fucking Christ, I was legitimately scared. Like,
Cool.
like, he's, like, terrifying. Whoever that guy is, like, oh god. Like, I was afraid.
It almost sounds like cucking.
I thought that was, when your significant other watches you get fucked by somebody else.
Right, but it almost sounds like a version of it.
I don't know. I mean, it's possible.
That's another odd one.
Well, okay, real quick before we move on to that. He actually posted another audio right after that was in, like, the same link that said, you know, click this for, like, an aftercare video or audio. And I clicked on it and he was like, hey, listen, I know that was a lot. He, like, broke the fourth wall a bit. And he, you know, he was like, I'm really proud of you for getting through it if you did. And I was like, what the hell?
That's kind of cool. Maybe that in itself is also a kink.
Being taken care of like that? Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, aftercare is really important for that kind of stuff.
Aftercare is so important just in general. But yeah, so I just wanted to explain that because I think that was probably the most fucked up thing that I've ever listened to. And the fact that I was, like, legitimately, like, upset afterwards.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. That was...
Sounds rough.
But I love it because it affected me so much.
Yeah.
So I respect that guy for doing that.
For pushing your buttons just enough.
I guess, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Granted, like, this was not, like, in any type of, like, sexual nature for me. This was literally just me trying to, like...
Right, just, like...
freak myself out.
I was gonna say just kind of to open your mind to things.
Yeah. Apparently opening the rest of your body with all of these cuts.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway. Dave, how you doing?
I just really haven't been able to speak after the first 5 minutes.
You didn't know what you were getting into with this.
I thought it was gonna be bad, but not that bad. I like all the rest of this is like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That first 5 minutes,
I set that bar high.
Yeah, you did.
It broke me. I'm like, my right eye started tearing up a little bit. Like my brain could not, like, comprehend that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not right.
Mm-hmm. And you, like I said, you didn't even see the fucking thread. You didn't see the pictures.
I don't want to.
I'm so sorry for you.
Yeah, right? Like,
it is what it is.
I guess. I want a button that says that. It is what it is. It's my grandma's catchphrase, I swear. But Dave, then I have a question for you.
I hopefully have an answer.
So, are there any, like, fetishes out there that you know of that you're kind of like, how? Like, why? Like, that you're just befuddled?
Other than the first 5 minutes of this?
Yeah. That's what made me think of it.
No, I'm kind of coming from a similar space as you guys. Kind of like the fascination behind the brain and why it does this. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's always a why. I'm not really like, whoa, what the fuck is that? No, it's like, oh, alright.
Okay. So do you think that fetishes come from childhood?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I would imagine that you could
There's a seed that's planted, probably.
Yeah, there's definitely a seed for the person that's asking their significant other to do that. But then, what if the other person becomes into it?
Okay.
But they weren't all about it before, and they have different backgrounds, different environments, different upbringings, and everything. So I feel like it's kind of both. It's kind of like nurture and nature.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the similar vein.
Okay. What about you, Case?
Oh, there's probably, like I said, seeds planted.
Yeah.
Somewhere along the line of your childhood, you come across something that you don't realize is appealing. Mm-hmm. And it just sticks with you.
Yeah.
And as, flood of hormones that comes with puberty hits. That's what causes it to augment and grow and inevitably gets sexualized.
You know what? That actually just reminded me of like the differences between kinks and fetishes. I think a fetish is when it's like a non-sexual object or body part that isn't seen traditionally as sexual that you find sexually appealing. I'm pretty sure. I'd have to look it up.
That doesn't sound right.
No?
I don't know. That sounds off. I don't know.
Dave, look it up, please. My
Okay.
phone's gonna die.
Yeah, I'll look it up. I'll look it up.
Alright, cool. Yeah, because now I'm really, really curious.
Yeah, keep the conversation going.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, Casey, since you and I both have a fetish, how old were you, do you think, when you first, like, discovered yours?
Oh, God.
I'm, like, smiling a lot because I'm, like, uncomfortable.
I don't know. Like, what do you mean, like there's you have an awareness?
Yeah.
God. You're also assuming I can remember back that far.
Well, you are old.
That my brain's been fried by
Drugs.
alcohol.
All the drugs.
A few drugs. Not a lot. Just
I mean,
a few.
you did find real Earth that one time, so... You remember?
Oh, God, yeah.
What?
It's in the dream episode that we
Oh,
talked
right,
about. when
right,
he
right,
found
right.
real Earth. I don't remember what drugs you were on.
Peyote.
Huh?
Peyote, I think.
Okay. But, I mean, it was your experience.
Yeah.
Like, alright, would you find?
Oh.
Alright, so for fetish, a form of sexual desire in which gratification is linked to an abnormal degree to a particular object, item of clothing, part of the body, etc.
See, I'm right.
And then kink, which is a little bit more digging and more like overarching. A quirk of a character or behavior.
Oh, that's very
So
different
a
from what I was
person's
thinking.
unusual sexual preference.
Okay.
And then another kink is a flaw or obstacle in a plan or operation. So I guess that could also relate back to it.
Yeah.
Where it's kind of like this little
Because
weird
it's a
thing.
kink in what would be an otherwise
Normal.
linear.
Yeah.
So kink is more focused on behavior per se.
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Whereas...
But-
So I wonder then...
So to go back to your question, I will venture to say like 9 or 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I was like 12,
Okay.
around there.
Yeah, so like that cusp of pre-puberty.
Mm-hmm.
Just as like it's starting to trickle in, your body's starting to changes, and yeah.
I highly encourage you to try to figure out where these seeds were planted. Because I've been doing
That's
that
right.
with my therapist, and
I don't
it's...
want to do that.
Okay. Well, it's so interesting. It's like, oh my god, like...
Do you not
This makes
understand the
sense.
level of shame I live under?
You really have nothing to be ashamed about.
Eh,
You really don't.
No, we're all
You
just
really
sacks of
don't.
meat. We're all the
we're just
same,
sacks
man.
of meat, yeah.
So there's no shame,
It did-
no matter what.
Yeah,
Because it doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter, but still. 5 years of just constant breeding about it.
Yeah, which is just
Sticks with
wrong.
you.
It's a
I'm
lot to
sure.
get over.
Yeah.
That's a huge kink in your, your process of figuring stuff out.
It's a kink in my kink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
roll credits.
Yeah. Thanks, Dave. You killed that.
All right. Well, someone take it somewhere else. I feel like I've been asking a lot of questions.
That just, I think that covered everything I want to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it covered everything I wanted to
Yeah.
talk about.
Okay.
Because there's no way in hell I'm talking about my shit.
No, we don't have to put our shit out
No.
there.
I mean,
Our shit.
I just think
Your
it's
shit.
interesting.
I have
Yeah.
no shit.
Yeah, you're vanilla, bitch.
I have no shit.
So then, what's like the craziest, kinkiest thing that you've done? If you don't want to say, that's okay.
Marriage.
You are getting married. All right.
Yeah. Commitment. Oh my god.
Oh man, commitment would be my fucking kink because I can't do
But
it.
you've never done like handcuffs or anything?
No,
Really?
had no desire.
I kept
That's
handcuffs in my
interesting.
car for the longest time.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Just in case he wanted to make a citizen's arrest.
Well, that and I used them.
Nice. On yourself or on her?
Or,
On the car?
That's normally how it is.
yeah.
That's normally how it is.
Not my idea though.
Oh. Okay.
Because that kind of power play, like, honestly makes me uncomfortable.
Really? Why? Talk about it.
Flashlight, go!
It just does. I don't know. I'm not a dominant individual. I'm very kind of whatever.
Submissive.
Yeah.
Not submissive.
No.
Just very lackadaisical.
I get that.
But it's just like that power, and it's just it's like makes me uncomfortable.
I feel like
I'm gonna fuck you, but it make me uncomfortable.
So then, would you rather you be in the handcuffs?
I don't know. I've never tried it, so I don't know.
That's fair.
Also, my bed frame doesn't really go well with handcuffs, so.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be against the bed frame. Like, you could just have your hands behind your back.
That just seems uncomfortable.
It is.
I have a bad shoulder as it is.
You do.
Yeah.
From the fucking dream thing that we talked about. Yeah, go back and listen to that. Listen.
Yeah, it's episode 14 of season 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one,
It's a good one.
That is the last good one. Don't listen to 15.
What's 15?
It's a mess.
15 was great.
Is that Blobfest?
No.
No.
15 was like, we're both a little drunk.
Oh, why was I not there?
You had work or something?
Yeah.
Oh.
I invited you, but you weren't available.
Oh, bummer.
We just
Okay.
gave up and we're like, we need something. And
Yeah.
then we just did it.
You need something.
We just started drinking. It was great.
Alright.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not talk about 15.
Alright, so then let's get back on track. Would you ever try, like, just thinking about, like, BDSM stuff, would you ever try, either one of you, would you ever try, like, whips and chains?
I've been hit with a whip. I wasn't a fan.
No?
No.
Okay.
Oh, no. Whips are different than riding crops, right?
Correct.
I was hit with a riding crop.
On your ass?
That hurt, yes. I was not a fan.
No?
Mm-mm.
It's interesting.
No, it's just like the sound it makes cutting through the air,
Yeah.
and then just the meaty slap it makes.
So it's not even about the pain, it's just the sound, really? And the fact
no,
that it
it's
hurt.
the pain.
Okay.
It's absolutely the pain.
Alright. So Casey's not a masochist.
Meaty slap.
So what about you? Would you try it?
Absolutely not.
Really?
Yeah.
think
Well,
Not on you, per se, but, like, maybe on...
I don't like inflicting pain.
That's interesting.
I
So
think-
you're
I
I
not a
also
sadist?
just don't like sex. That's just me.
It
My
is-
jaw literally
it is
dropped.
I can't.
It is dude. I'm not gonna lie. The last 2 years have been kind of great. Just
Guys, have you not had good sex?
No, I
not
have.
in a while.
I just don't like it. It's just not my thing. I don't like the fluids. I don't like any of that crap. No. I don't. Do you understand how many times I wash my hands in a day?
I wonder if you're not asexual, are you?
I don't know. Maybe.
Borderline sounds like.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
I mean, I'll do it, but
Yeah.
I'll be fine.
Has it always been that way?
Yeah. Yeah, if we're going to trace it back to my childhood, I've been washing my hands like...
Not washing your hands.
No, but I mean, like, it's definitely linked back to that. I hate
Okay.
just the feeling. No.
The feeling of what, though? I don't understand.
I don't like...
Of the fluids?
Yeah. I become very internalized, and then it's just like, no.
Is it better if, like, you're wearing a condom, then?
No.
It's like you don't have to...
It feels like...
Then you're just like trapped in your own juices.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Oh, this is going to get flagged.
Dave in the beginning was like, let's keep this PG-13. And I was like,
Yeah.
nope. Absolutely not. That's so interesting.
Hey, if you're under 18 and you made it this far, I'm telling your mom.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
And I'm a janitor at a PetSmart. You know how I had sweaty palms?
Sure.
Like when I give high fives or shake hands or whatever? For about 3 months, because I washed my hands and used hand sanitizer so often during my 4-hour shifts at work, completely dried out.
I believe it.
It wasn't until I started school.
Okay.
It wasn't until I started school that my hands started sweating again. Because now I'm not working as much.
Right.
Not constantly sanitizing.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely got OCD or some shit. I don't know.
So then, okay. Feel free to not answer this, because now I'm going to get, like, really personal.
Okay.
Do you... I almost don't want to say it. But do you, like, perform orally? Because that has a lot to do with fluids.
It does. A lot of fluids.
Yeah.
I told you my Shark Week story. There's always fluids.
I've never done it Shark Week style.
I'm going to prefer not to answer that on the mic.
You're a brave man.
Remember, I wasn't told ahead of time it was Shark Week.
Oh, man. You gotta tell ahead of time. You have to.
And it just when you come up with a face full of blood, all you can say is you're a bit low on iron.
I mean, blood play is cool.
That's the whole thing,
but
yeah.
like...
But give me a heads up if you want me to munch.
And then you start laughing like Pennywise.
I feel like that would be super sexy. I'm kidding. But yeah, no, feel free to not answer that on the mic. That's totally fine.
Oh, I already did.
Oh, alright. I guess I missed that.
By just casually molding into the next conversation.
Yep. Gotcha, okay.
Yeah, now we're addressing it.
This is where, like, I would want to talk to somebody else who's bisexual, because it's like, I want to know, like, other people's opinions on, like, sucking dick versus eating out. Like, I want to know, like, what people's thoughts are on it, and obviously,
either way, it's a mouthful.
Not sucked dick. But see, it's a different type of mouthful.
Right.
Yeah, and it's like the
Mouthfeel.
tastes are so different. It's so weird how different they are. It is, because girls are so fucking bitter.
You keep saying that.
I do.
But, like, I've never encountered that.
Really?
Yeah.
It's really only like the first 2 seconds that are like, oh, okay, this is bitter and this is different.
Every time I've eaten a girl out, it's been like a cavalcade of.
Nice word.
Yeah. But like it hits like every note on my tongue.
Really?
Yeah.
I love
Flexing.
the way that you just explained that.
Mm-hmm.
Flexing that English degree you got.
But yeah, there's a little bit of bitter, but there's some sweet. There's like a little sour, but there's a little bit of everything.
That little bit of sweet.
All right, Remy.
It's nice.
Patrick Oswald.
Understand that reference?
I'm proud.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I
Oh,
said
you
you
don't?
don't?
Okay. It's Pixar.
It's Pixar. It's a
Yeah.
cooking rap.
I don't
Yeah.
do that bullshit.
Okay, well, but see, that's the interesting thing is that women have so much taste.
Mhm.
Men don't have any taste at all.
It depends on what we eat that day, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about the end product, though. I'm just
Okay.
talking about, like, the
Well, yeah, because
appendage.
it's just sweaty flesh.
It's just skin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I will say men are a lot saltier than women. Not in the good way. Because I love
Attributed
salt.
to the sweat.
Dude, Joe and I actually just talked about this the other day. So, he was like, I don't understand. I'm going to get real fucking personal. Okay? I don't like to swallow.
What, Dave?
He hit it.
So, anyway, Joe was like, I don't understand why you don't like to, because it's literally, like, so salty, and I love salt. Like, I'll get, like, packets of salt and just eat that.
It's true. I've seen you do this. Like, she's
Yeah.
walked out with salt packets from a diner.
Yeah. I like salt, but for some reason, I don't like that type of salt.
Right?
And I just thought
to each their own.
it was funny. It was really funny.
To each their own.
Yeah. I don't really... I'm very open as a person.
Yeah.
I don't really care.
For the most part, I am as well.
And besides the fact that not a lot of people listen to us, granted, if one of our fucking professors, Dave, listens
I'd
to
be
this
thrilled
one,
about it.
I'm gonna die.
I'd be thrilled about this. This would be great.
It's because you're a guy, though, too.
Why? What's that have to do with it?
Well,
Yeah.
if the same professor... Like, you two are very much alike, and you're both
He
men.
even fucking said it, which is great.
Right, yeah. Right. So I feel like that's a bit... Plus, I feel like society shames women more than they do men in terms of anything sexual.
Right, that's why you get paid less.
It's the second
How
time
much
you
do
made
you-
that reference. Today.
I know.
I think
You're on a
that's
roll.
Okay, well, wait. How much...
Not a payroll.
I don't... Okay.
I'm sorry.
Do you know how much porn stars get paid?
Like nothing.
Well, like, okay, compared to, like, men and women, though. Like, is there a difference there? Because I feel like...
there's a huge difference. There was
Okay.
just a thing about it all over Twitter.
Really?
A porn actress, Mia Khalifa, I believe her name is.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. She did hundreds of videos.
I'm just looking at the time. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
She did like something like hundreds of videos, thousands of hours of porn, and she was only paid like in a year, like 13,000.
I make more than that.
Something ridiculous like that. I don't remember the whole story, but I remember reading that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like she made fucking peanuts.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm a fucking part-time waitress and I made more than that.
I clean toilets and I make more than that.
Yeah.
Dude, that fucking sucks. And okay, what about the males?
Oh, probably substantially more. Because that's just the way the pay scale usually works.
That's so unfair, though.
Yeah, she actually started working for one of my favorite companies in Rooster Teeth.
Oh, really?
I think that's probably why it came out.
Huh.
Yeah, she's in a lot of like Always Open, a lot of the podcasts that they do over there, and I think she's doing some of the new stuff
That's cool.
that they do.
Yeah.
And I know she cosplays and represents the company at a lot of like PAX West and stuff like that.
Because you would think that the women would get paid more.
No.
Well, not that you would think it, but it I really don't want to say it, but the women should get paid more.
In California, they get to wear goggles.
Yeah, they're on.
Yeah.
I mean, they're on-screen personalities. That's at the end of the day, that's what they are. And the male is usually the one that's cut out.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's because I think a lot of the industry thinks that it's mostly men watching, and men don't typically want to watch other males. But a lot of females watch too.
Yeah.
So, but there are a lot of other material out there for women that I don't think men would partake in, such as like stories and audio
like
and things like that.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So I don't think a lot
guys
of...
don't want to read.
Right, yeah.
I came here to beat, not to read. What?
It's interesting.
Yeah.
But women also get, like, brutally fucked sometimes.
It's gross, yeah.
I'm not gonna say anything about it. I'm just gonna say that, like you see...
Some of it's gross to me. Because, again, it's like that power dynamic, and it's just, like, going a little too far.
No, that's
They're going
fair.
too far.
As long as everything is consensual on camera, then I don't care what you do. And you're not hurting anybody else without their consent. But I had a point, and now I forget where I was going.
Good job.
You interrupted me.
Yeah.
Fuck, where was I going, guys?
I don't know.
Something
My brain
about
still
going...
hurts
Oh,
from
okay,
before.
I remember. So it's normally like when you were like if you were to go under like the BDSM category, it's 9 times out of 10 the women getting the brutal fucking instead of the men.
Right.
Because that's, more popular demand.
Right. Because it's
so they're
the
taking so they're taking so much more trauma essentially.
Yeah. But then the subcategory for that, like the pegging, is usually like a cuck thing.
Right.
So it's weird classifications.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. I love this topic. Because the other thing is people are so afraid to talk about it.
Oh yeah.
And I hate
America is hilariously sex negative.
And that's upsetting.
Shout out to the Puritans.
Yeah.
That
Hilarious.
that
Their
sucks.
stupid fucking hats.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people should be able to express that, hey, I'm into this, and not be shamed for it unless it's one of the 3 illegals and you haven't tried to get around it.
Yeah, I blame religion.
Oh, God.
I blame religion.
Yeah.
The 3 illegals. This is reminding me of Harry Potter.
Sorry. Actually, my father told me that I was going to go to hell when I came out to him. Cool. I remember that, and being like, where is this religious base coming from? Because you did not raise us this way.
YOLO.
I had an aunt that told me I had to repent and save my soul.
For what?
I don't remember.
Oh, good lord. You don't have a soul.
I also had an aunt. Who told me I was going to hell because I was Catholic.
Oh, well, yeah, because they're awful.
Well, yeah.
Ugh. That's so interesting.
I don't remember what she told me to repent for.
Being you.
I was going to say existing, like...
Most likely, because this was years ago during my very slutty days.
Very slutty days.
I had some very slutty days.
But see, men won't be viewed as sluts. Men will...
I was very much a slut. Hence the handcuffs I kept in my car.
Oh, okay, so you've tried a riding crop, and you've tried handcuffs.
Yeah.
Have you tried actual, like, whips and chains, and rope, and things like that?
No.
Okay.
I did the leather for, like, a hot minute, and then the riding crop hit my ass, I'm like, no!
No, we're done!
No! Take it out!
What's your safe word?
I didn't have a safe word.
Oh, really?
No, like, the running gag is, like, it's pineapple, but...
That is what everybody's safe word is.
But, like, you want something that's easy to say with a ball gag.
That's a good point. That's one I didn't think about. Because my safe word is waffles. Literally, because like when
Blue
Joe and I were
waffles.
talking about it, I was like, ooh, I could really go for some waffles right now. And he's like, let's do that. And I was like, okay. And then I think we made waffles. And they were damn good. I had a student today, so fucking random. I had a student today come in and talk to my co-op and I about waffles. And she was like, quick question. What's better, waffles or pancakes? And my co-op and I at the same time were like, waffles?
False. French toast.
That was not an option.
It is now.
Waffles and pancakes are just the same thing.
No.
Waffles are just pancakes with a syrup trap.
But that's half the fun, is the
They're
syrup
just
trap.
the same thing.
But they're also...
Guys.
Waffles are a lot more... They are crunchier versus a
Yeah.
pancake, which is fluffy and more enjoyable to eat.
I'm not a fan of either.
But waffles
French
don't
toast.
have to be crunchy. I agree,
Disgusting.
though, French toast
That
is
is a
amazing.
soggy, flavorless mess.
You're soggy flavorless.
It has to be
mess.
the right... It has to be like 2-day-old bread. Texas toast. It's like... It's a lot of
Ooh,
specifics
Texas
that need to
toast.
go. They go into it.
All right, so back on track, because we're almost at an hour of
Fuck, I
talking
want some
about this.
French toast.
I'm going to make waffles when I get home, guys. I have Eggo waffles. I'm so excited.
I'm probably gonna make
Those
French
are not
toast.
waffles.
They are just
Shut
a
up.
novelty.
Shut up. I'm excited about my waffles. Leave me alone.
They're not French toast.
Guys, you're making me squeeze the stuffed animals.
Stop squeezing my stuffed animals.
No!
What?
Casey gave me a couple stuffed animals to hold because I was bouncing off the fucking walls earlier. So if you had to choose, I just think it's fun. If you had to choose between, I didn't think all this through.
Surprise.
I know.
We can post this as a poll later on
we
the
could
Facebook.
post this as a
So
poll.
guess what? It's gonna be surprise when this comes out. Surprise, mother truckers!
Wow, that was pathetic.
All right.
Some fries, motherfucker.
So you
So any
learned
final
some
thoughts?
things about us today. I think overall, audience.
Yeah. This is.
Yeah. You learned some shit.
You learned the internet's an awful place.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
You,
really
you
did.
broke me, and I wasn't even on the internet. Yeah.
It's very interesting, but I'm not one. I don't want to kink shame anybody.
I'm absolutely kink shaming people for this.
I've
first
been
5
shamed
minutes, yes.
enough in my
100%,
life that I don't
100%.
want to shame anybody else.
But if you have daydreams about Hitler fucking Anne Frank, I'm going to shame you.
I'm gonna be
'Cause
a
you're-
little sick about it.
You're a Nazi. You're a pedo. No.
Nope.
Stop it.
Yeah, I just
Necrophiliac?
stick with
No, that's fine. If you want to fuck a dead person, that's fine.
it's unsanitary.
But
It's
you're hitting
unsanitary.
2 of the bad things.
necrophilia you can get around by just pretending to be dead or under anesthesia.
Right.
Yeah.
Like-
all right, we're using the get around thing again.
But also,
What else
like,
am I supposed to
like,
say?
if you're gonna put forth the dedication to dig up a dead body,
Yeah.
you know what? You have earned it.
I feel like it's a lot easier to fuck a dead man than a woman, though. What? We're really breaking Vanilla Davis.
So, thank you everyone if you made it this far.
Maybe don't recommend this to anybody ever.
Every professor ever.
No.
Hey, if you made it this far and you're actually listening to this, it's been posted. Congratulations.
If you
and it's
actually
still up.
enjoyed it,
It's still up if you've made it this far.
yeah, I feel like you're long-term fans at this point if you actually did not click off of this one after hearing us talk about all this shit. But you know what? I'm not going to shame anybody for it. You know what? We talked about it, and it's fine, and it's part of life.
All right, let's wrap this up. I
Like,
gotta pee.
subscribe,
Wow.
follow us on social media. Tell a friend if you want. This is a great episode
You okay,
to
Dave?
introduce us.
So fun. It's so fun.
No, I don't know how I'm gonna continue. But yeah, like, subscribe, hit that like button, share with your friends. You know,
And
it's
go
not
have
that
some fun
hard.
sex if you're
Ooh.
of age.
Post this, that little share thing you put in your Instagram stories. Do that with us. We're fun like that. We can go on your Insta stories.
All
All right? Yeah, I've done it. It's cool. All right. See you later, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for listening.
I gotta pee.
Oh my god.